The year is 1999. The woman is Eldora Rubio. It was her first day on the job as the first full-time female firefighter in Belize.
The hardest part is, we say, like, this being in the sunlight for maybe 3 hours in a suit. That's the hardest part.
Yeah, the hose are not heavy?
They are heavy, but once you get used to it, you'll get accustomed to it. So to be as good as the other guys, to become like a professional there.
And firefighter Rubio became that professional, just as good as or better than the guys. Fast forward 2 decades, it's 2021. She's the fire safety officer with the Belize National Fire Service. This trailblazer has inspired other women to pursue a career in firefighting.
I've heard from 2 of the females, especially 2 of the females that are working, that I did motivated them when they first saw me, right? And that gave me a sense of accomplishment, right? And it helps me continue to reach this point. I was basically on my own for like the first 10 years or 5 years. After 2 other females that came in with me, they end up resigning a couple years after. So I was around, you can say, on my own for a few amount of years. And they tend to overlook you for those training, right? Because you're a female, you're considered the weaker link.
Rubio is anything but weak, and she'll tell you that those early years were tough. She wasn't welcomed as a firefighter and was often overlooked for training opportunities. After all, many of her male counterparts felt there was no place for a woman on the firefighting squad, but she was determined to become a career firefighter, not despite of, but because she was a woman.
1999, it wasn't that welcoming because firefighting was considered a male-dominated job. So about, you could say, more than 50% of them basically didn't want me here. Some of my colleagues that I've trained with, they didn't tell me it up front, but afterwards they told me if it wasn't for me, they would have quit the training. But I helped motivated them to finish because their thing is a female will not beat me. So they push themselves to finish. Throughout the years, I've proven myself. I showed them that I can carry my own weight, that I can do my work, and I gained their respect throughout the years.
How did you motivate yourself during those years?
The job. I fell in love with the job. So coming to work every day, expecting something different every day, you don't know what to expect when you come to work.
What is it that you love about this job?
The challenge. It's been challenging from the start, not only with the emergency calls that we go on, but the guys that you work with. Because eventually I became supervisor for some of them, right? And after a while, they came around and they learned to respect me.
There are 6 full-time female firefighters in the Belize National Fire Service, and the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change and Disaster Risk Reduction wants to recognize Trailblazer firefighter Rubio.
We believe in this ministry that we have to give women recognition, especially, as you mentioned, in those areas where it's not traditional or even cultural to see some of these women get involved, and especially making a career of such. In the area of firefighting, there are a few women who are involved. Congratulate Ms. Eldora Rubio from the National Fire Service of Belize.
As a fire safety officer, Rubio's job is to educate students about fire safety. She also leads fire marshal trainings as well as fire safety inspections to help keep businesses and other public places safe. Rubio's career is an example of how she has broken barriers and forged a path for other women in what's a traditionally male-dominated field. To date, it's one of the most rewarding experiences of her life.
Second to having my son, This is the best decision I've made. I wouldn't change anything, even the challenges with the guys, I think they made me stronger. They made me more dedicated to the job. Their behavior towards me, or when I first started, actually pushed me to prove to them that I could do the same thing that they can do. So I wouldn't change anything, because going through that actually made me be the person I am today.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Andrea Polanco.